once you get working, work until it gets dark. Had another conversation that I feel like is worth recollecting here. And it had to do with the answer to one of life's biggest questions is, what do you think is the reason for all the wrongdoings and all the bad things that people do? Hurtful actions, evil, wickedness. And I concluded that ultimately, if you're asking for a solution for anything to begin with, then you must first concede the first point of a solution itself. If we're putting solution itself up against wickedness or evil, is that if you really want a solution usually is on a much lighter note than something that is wicked or something that is evil. So a solution will provide an answer for a way of looking at things that may not take them seriously. And in this way, I attempted to provide my solution for perhaps one of life's greatest questions as to why is there evil or wickedness on this plane or this planet, in this realm, whatever you want to call it. And I first went off by saying, ultimately, what does the most harm to the soul anyways? What is it that we're all actually really seeking? I think being shorted is, in fact, the greatest foul that somebody can truly commit. It's not actually giving things credit. It's taking away time. All things, because all things are eventually acceptable with time. And if anybody wants to go up against that question, well, it's a funny one to go up against because you'd ultimately have to live forever. But anyways, I would then collect that with my thought the other day about circles and the projection of the demon. As we say, there's something that stays, but then in that moment, are we not just trying to create another God in another way? Then all bad things are old ways. And again, in this way, then truly the greatest harm one can do is to short something, to short you. It's truly as simple as that. And it's this idea that time is being taken away, which ultimately leads to, again, the idea that time is really the ultimate sin. Time is against everyone that has ever been or will be. But funny enough, shorting time is the greatest sin we'll ever see. And then, though, if we recognize that all wickedness that happens before our eyes is simply somebody shorting our time because they want to cheat, they want to rhyme when they're not supposed to, and make meaning of things when they should sing. But perhaps there are times in which we can cheat. We can make something short. Depending on all circumstances that could report, then who are we to judge, to chuckle, or to snort? Right? Maybe then, if you think along those lines that all wickedness is just shorting things, then from the place in which you could see, would you then not be able to see over all wicked things and just say that, well, it's not going to get very far in that way. And then all we really have to exercise is patience within our day. And all places that we eventually get to are because of the things that we put or take out of our way. And sure, maybe there's some small things that are worth picking up, and maybe there's some great things that are worth hiking up. And again, this is as trivial as it gets, but like I said, the night may be scary and full of dread and all these things that have never been said, but man, the sun is just so sleepy. And he gets the job done. Is he really ever even fun? All he does is draw straight lines. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But again, what would we know of it? Just like, what could we know of sin if we can't really go forever? Maybe the sun can do anything then. So then maybe it's all just a matter of learning to deal with what you see. Making the choice of how reactive it is for where you want to be and what you know has been. Evilness or wicked then is as much as you can create your own storm in your head, or create then peace to lie down in your bed. Again, wickedness is just shorting things. But really, are you going to look at something that's cheating itself and say that it's your problem? If we could look at things like that, maybe we could be just like the sun. To say that no matter what we've seen, it's bright for someone. But alas, in between all things we're not beast, we're not God, we're not aliens, we're not elementalists. But in some way, it's because we're in between things that we can connect to others to say these things. And maybe when all in between things actually do connect, we can make some great design in some blanket that's like space fabric called the human spirit. And maybe we have a place in heaven as well. Well, what does the human spirit say? What would we if we could walk or we could tell? After all, spirits, they're either in the underworld like hell or in heaven, are they not? So the human spirit is there in this thought. Then in maybe some way we're like a god too, because all things that get riddled down to one thing, personalization, is the peak of optimization. If something is truly recognized, then what does the first man look like from our eyes? How about the last? What would we do stuck in between these realms? Is it this singularity? Maybe there's some complexity to it. Whereas if we think that we're one, then we unravel like one string undone. The fabric has gone, there it's went. But maybe if we act as one, then we can stretch from the depths, the bowels of Earth's crust and hells, all the way to the sun's star wells. Then maybe for a moment, the human spirit doesn't have to try to relate to other things that we love or hate. Animals, gods, all the things that we create. We're something new, completely. And if that's the truth, then maybe it gives us all something to look to. And test if maybe we could see. We'd have our own magic, our own plane, our own space, our own sea. Then we'd have more of a place here too, and far, as we acted as free things or a process. And it's funny which one connects with when you treat it as what. Maybe the human spirit then is a mystery, and maybe that's something that we'll never really be able to see. But maybe then we're like the beginning of all things. Even the sun has a dawn where it's just misty, as the human collection somehow is all direction and misdirection, and one direction it seems. Maybe that's why we're here doing all these things, because we're the shortest, we're the smallest, you see. All of us are Adam, and all of us are Eve. Like the bright point that comes up from where the sun comes into the night, until we try to riddle, deceive, and fight. But then, if there really is some big someone, big son of a gun, big son of a bitch out there, well then, you got a problem with humans? What, you got a problem with things shorting things? Just call me Shorty.